60s. If you would, please welcome our next inductee, Denny Holman from SMU. Good to see you. Grab that microphone there. Let's visit for a little while here. So let's go back to what led you to SMU. Were there other options at the time? What were you thinking about?
Well, when you went to Hillcrest and Dallas, there's a few Hillcrest people in this room, and matter of fact, Kurt's coming up in just a second, who's also a Hillcrest player. SMU, when you said the names Williams, Hersher, Krebs, Mills, those meant a lot to those of us playing high school ball. And the capper to the deal was when Doc Hayes walked in your living room, and I know my friends here don't tell me that he said this to you too, but I know he did. He said, Danny, I've never had a great player at SMU that didn't commit to me really early. And I thought about it, I said, golly, and this was the opening day of recruiting, and I had some other trips planned, and he said, I'd like to get you, and I played center in high school. He said, but I'd like for you to play point guard. And I wasn't sure what a point guard was, but I knew that I wanted to play for Coach Hayes. So I said, Coach, I'll get back with you. Well, my mom and dad were so excited, and I made him wait about 10 hours, and then I said, yeah, Coach, I want to be a Mustang. And back then, Moody was the best Coliseum to play in. It's still the best Coliseum to play in today.
64 to 66, you guys were dominant. You won, 3 straight Southwest Conference titles. Any of those years stand out for you, though? Any memory that stands out more than others?
Well, two of them stand out. The first one's always the best. And Bob Beggart's here today, and he was under the basket. We tied the championship with Texas, and we went to Baylor. And Tommy, I don't know how you dribbled the ball at the heart of Texas Coliseum, because you dribble along and the ball wouldn't come back up. And Waco guys, the Baylor guys, Hatfield and all those guys had a huge advantage over us because they knew where the dead spots were. So we played Texas, and Bob made a shot with no time on the clock to beat Texas to go play in the playoffs. So that was the first one. The second one, our junior year was fun, and we had a lot of great memories. But our senior year, we really had a good team, and had 2 sophomores play with the 4 of us. And Begart, Beasley, and Jones and I had all been there together. And Coach Pruitt had said to us the first week of practice, this is the first week when we were freshmen, he said, you know, there's only been one team in the history of SMU that's ever won the conference 3 years. And I think you guys can do it. So we'd done it the first 2 years, and the third year we won, and we played Louisville in the NCAAs, and Louisville was ranked number 2 in the nation. And it was in Lawrence, Kansas, and those basketball players here know how much fun it is to play at Kansas. It's a great arena. Well, University of Houston was there. They had Elvin Hayes. Louisville was there. They had Wes Unseld. And Kansas was there. And that was the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th ranked teams in the country. And we were ranked 10th. And Charlie Beasley was an incredible athlete for us. And there was a jump ball. And all coaches teach you from the first day in 6th grade on, you put somebody back on defense if there's a jump ball. Well, we had a jump ball, Louisville's in, the game's tied. Charlie looked at me, we made eye contact, and we had done this against Baylor once before. And when the ball went up, the guy from Louisville was taller than Charlie, and nobody thought he would out-jump him, but Charlie out-jumped him and hit it like a volleyball. And when the ball went up, I started running. Nobody was back, so I caught the ball midcourt and went in for a layup, and we beat Louisville with no time on the clock. So that was a fun time. And back then you played back-to-back nights instead of a day off, which they do now. And Bill, I love going to the Final Four now. The Final Four is so great. But it's a huge advantage, and Houston was deeper than we were, and they had the Big E also. But we lost to them by 3 points, and that only gave whoever won that game the right to go get beat by 20 by UCLA. So, because that's when UCLA was so great.
You mentioned Coach Hayes during the recruiting process. What was he like during the season? What was it like playing for him?
Well, two quick stories. One, we were playing Coach at Rice, and our junior year, if we won the conference again, and we had one more game left. We were down 1 point. There was about 20 seconds to go, and I got fouled, and I had a 1-and-1. So the Rice coach called a timeout, and we went over, and Coach Hayes was a master. He was a player's coach. You loved playing for him. And all he talked about was the positive. So we walked over, and everybody's looking to see what Coach Hayes is going to say. You know, I've got a 1-and-1, 20 seconds to go. He says, after Denny makes these shots, I want us to get back, play good defense, and get the rebound. So he always coached the positive. He never coached the negative. The second story I would tell you is, and I've never shared this story, so I'm not going to divulge the young man. He was a straight-A student, but all these former athletes know this in the room. A team is no better than the 10th or 11th guy on a basketball team because they can create discontent if they're not, part of the team. And Coach Hayes understood that, and we had a group they were called the Raiders, and they were the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th guys on the team, and Coach Hayes usually played 7 or 8 guys, just the way he played. And those guys, when, you got to understand, back then, there wasn't pro basketball. So in Dallas, Texas, SMU was the ticket for basketball. And we had great crowds. We had A&M, we had Texas, everybody coming in, Baylor, Arkansas, TCU. So it was a great arena to play in, and we always had sellout crowds. So the other players loved to come play there because it was just a great atmosphere. So one of the guys were playing Texas, and he said he figured he wouldn't get in. So he put his warm-up on, but he didn't put any other clothes on. And you can guess what happens. We get in the 5 minutes to go in the game, and Coach Hayes says, so-and-so, he calls a timeout, wants you to go in, and he didn't have any socks on or anything else. And he said, Coach, I don't have anything on underneath this. And Coach Hayes said, what? And his favorite phrase, he had 2, he who hesitates is lost, is written about a basketball player. His second one he used that night. He said, I've seen everything but childbirth on a basketball court. So, needless to say, he was a coach you loved to play for, and he stayed really loose.
It wasn't long thereafter, though, that pro ball did show up in Dallas.
It did.
And you played for the Chaparrals, didn't you?
Played for the first team in the ABA.
Yeah.
It was a great year. I was a young guy. I'd never been to San Francisco, never been to LA, never been to New York. So to get to go to all those places and play pro ball was unbelievable. I got married to BR that year during the middle of the season. And if you've never been to a wedding with a basketball team sitting up at the front, and BR was Episcopalian that time. And so everybody stood at the wedding and no one could see BR because all the players were standing up there. So she didn't get her full deal that night. So that was great. But more importantly than that, in the three-point rule was the first year of that year. So that changed basketball. The three-point made basketball, college basketball, a much better game and pro ball. So those things, but those weren't the best things. The marriage was, but the next best thing was Max was our general manager, Max Williams, who was a great at SMU, and I knew who Max was, but I didn't really know him. And Bob Folsom owned the team, and the fact that I had a relationship with those two guys that's lasted 50 years. I went to work for Bob afterwards in his real estate company, and all of our people are here today with Steve and our other owners. And, I've been really blessed to have the ability to play in Dallas at SMU and with the Chaparrals.
And now, a member of the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame.
And I'd just like to thank the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, the Southwest Conference, and SMU for putting us in. I know it's Baylor, Beasley, and Jones and I appreciate it. But I appreciate the friends that are here more, and Rusty and Bill. Thank you. And all of you showed up.
Denny Holman, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Denny.